Joe has the courage to speak the truth and then address it in a way that is about fighting for equality and equity, knowing that's what everyone wants. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who, during that first debate, you'll recall, refused to condemn white supremacists and went on to double down and say, stand back and stand by. And it's important to remember that this is not a one-off. There's a pattern at play here. Remember that Donald Trump came in office campaigning, questioning the legitimacy of America's first black president. Remember on the issue of Charlottesville, where folks were peacefully protesting racial injustice. There was a young woman who was killed. And on the other side, there were neo-Nazis wearing swastikas, carrying tiki torches, spewing racist and anti-Semitic slurs. And the President of the United States said there were fine people on both sides. Came into office calling Mexicans rapists and criminals. One of his first orders of business was a Muslim ban. We are better than this. We are better than this. We deserve better than this. And the thing about Joe is that he understands that regardless of where you live, your race, your gender, your age, the language your grandmother speaks, Joe knows that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. Joe knows that the real strength of any human being is measured not based on who you beat down, but who you lift up. There are real choices in this election. Let's look at the fact that we are in the midst of a climate crisis. Now, you all know I come from California. Well, the whole west coast of our country is burning. California to Oregon to Washington over to Colorado. These wildfires, I've met with the families that have been evacuated, never to return to their home again. I've met with the firefighters who were fighting fires while their own homes were burning. In fact, my brother-in-law is a firefighter. You look at all of the Gulf states and the storms. You know there have been, this year, 5 named storms, just this year. And you know you name a storm because it's really bad. We're seeing this all over our country. And so Joe says, we got to deal with this with a sense of urgency, understanding this is going to represent an existential threat to who we are as human beings. And we can do something about this, but we must embrace the science. We must take this on with a sense of urgency. We must have timelines like 2050 for net zero emissions and understand there's an opportunity in the moment to create jobs, to invest in renewable energies, to invest in research and development, to invest in wind turbines and solar paneling, to partner up with the building trades and the electricians and the carpenters and see what the potential is here, to allow us to be a leader on the globe, see what we will do. We are committed to investing in America's auto industry so we will be the #1 global manufacturer of electric vehicles. There's an opportunity in this moment. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who, when asked about the wildfires, and the journalist asked something that went kind of like this. So, you know, these wildfires are happening, and the scientists are saying that they're, you know, that human behaviors are contributing to the extreme climate changes we're seeing, and that's contributing to these wildfires. The President of the United States who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, responded by saying, "Science doesn't know." Now, Mr. President, science does know, and that is why the leading science magazine endorsed Joe Biden for President of the United States. So these are just a few of the issues that are confronting us right now as a nation. And again, we have it within our power. We have it within our power to do something about it. And so that brings me to why I am here today and have come back to North Carolina. And first, it is to thank you, because you wouldn't be here were it not for the fact that you are a leader. And so I am here, first of all, on behalf of Joe and myself, to thank you for what you have done to get us to this moment. And to say this, look, this election, we want to make sure that everybody votes. And if you have your ballot, your vote by mail ballot, go to the county elections office. You can't take it to the polling place. Go to the county elections office. You can drop it off there or vote on election day at your polling site. But, you know, here's the thing I want to talk about voting. You know, a lot of people come up to me like you, I'm sure, and they say, well, why should I vote? And I think there are three reasons. One, to honor the ancestors. To honor the ancestors. So GK and I and our country just lost a great American hero who is now among the ancestors, the great Congressman John Lewis, who told us to get in good trouble. I think that's what we're doing right now. And John Lewis shed his blood on that Edmund Pettus Bridge for the right for us to vote. Honor the ancestors. We celebrated this year the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment so that women could vote in America. Those suffragettes in their white marching and shouting, saying women have a right to vote. Now, being true to history, we also need to note black women couldn't vote till 1965. But let's celebrate the ancestors and understand that what they did, the blood they shed for our right to vote must be honored. That's reason number one. Reason number two, everything is at stake. Everything is at stake. Everything we just discussed is at stake, including our democracy, including our standing on the globe, including having a president of the United States who honors the American intelligence community over foreign dictators, including having a president who speaks with grace and carries themselves with dignity, believing in the best of people. Everything is at stake in this election.